All right, let's get into it. What happens when wedding jitters turn into a surreal horror nightmare? Stay tuned for something very bad is going to happen.
I have to tell you about this. I'm Emma, your pop culture chaos coordinator, and today I'm diving headfirst into a miniseries that takes cold feet and turns them into full-body chills. We're talking Netflix, secrets, and things that go bump in the aisle. So, let's talk. Something Very Bad is Going to Happen is a Netflix horror miniseries from creator and showrunner Haley Z. Boston. Think psychological mind games meeting supernatural weirdness, all swirling around an impending wedding. It dropped in 2026 and is a self-contained story, no season 2 cliffhanger holding you hostage. It's atmospheric, tense, and it leans into that very human fear that the closer you get to forever, the more your demons RSVP. Let me set the scene with a quick personal story. I went to a wedding once that started like a Pinterest board and ended like a Grimm's fairy tale. The venue was this old hotel with velvet curtains and an attitude. The couple did an unplugged ceremony, cute, but then the power actually went out during vows, not cute. The maid of honor, who is the sunshine person usually, suddenly started crying mid-toast about secrets nobody asked for. Then, an uncle who swore he saw a ghost in the hallway refused to go back inside, and he was wearing a kilt, so the wind was also not cooperating. Big yikes. The air shifted. You know when a party goes from champagne bubbles to static electricity? The bride looked like she was holding her breath for the rest of her life, and the groom had that 1,000-yard stare of a man who just realized marriage comes with extended family folklore. Honestly, it stuck with me, because weddings are this gorgeous stage where your whole past meets your whole future in one room. If one secret coughs, everyone gets the emotional flu. That's the vibe this miniseries bottles. Wedding chaos, but make it existential horror. You are watching love, but you are also watching fear unpack the suitcase. Okay, let's move on. Here's the ELI 5. A miniseries is a limited-run show that tells a complete story in a set number of episodes. No homework beyond that. A showrunner is the boss of the story and the vibe. In this case, Haley Z. Boston, who also executive produces. An executive producer is a high-level decision-maker, money, casting, big creative calls. Netflix ordered this in 2024 when it was called Something Bad is Going to Happen. By release, they added very, and that tiny word is such a flex, it screams, we are not playing around. Principal photography, that is the main chunk of filming, happened in Toronto from early 2025 into spring, and the series arrived in 2026. A clean arc, concept to spooky reality. Now, the people behind the curtain. Haley Z. Boston, creator and showrunner, steers the ship, rating lanes, tone, edits the final heartbeat of the thing. The Duffer brothers, known for Stranger Things, come in as executive producers, which basically adds pedigree and a promise of character-driven suspense. Hilary Leavitt, a seasoned producer, and Andrea Sperling, who champions complex characters, also executive produce. That's stability plus taste. And Werenica Tefilska is an executive producer who also directed 4 episodes, which means a strong, unified look and feel is baked in. If you love atmospheric tension that crawls up your spine, that's her touch stamped all over it.
Cast-wise, Camilla Moran plays Rachel, the emotional axis, the bride navigating a week from hell. Adam DeMarco is Nikki, the fiancé whose charm has edges you only notice when the lights flicker. Jeff Welbish is Jules, the older brother. You can feel the family loyalty and the secrets stuck in his teeth. Dus Burney is Portia, the younger sister, giving that restless energy that either saves the day or sets it on fire. Kyla Crome is Nell, Jules' second wife, layered, careful, and not at all simple. Sarah Fraser plays Jude, the kid whose vulnerability raises the stakes by 1,000. Ted Levine is Boris, the father with old-world gravity, and Jennifer Jason Leigh is Victoria, the mother whose calm is maybe not calm at all. It's a mask that slips when it counts.
And then the strange ones. Zlatko Biric is the witness. Yes, that is the credit. Like, he is both in the story and above it. Amanda Fix is Benjamin, a supporting role that nudges the plot in sharp ways. Vittoria Pedretti plays Rachel's deceased mother, which tells you we are getting memory, visions, or that dream logic where the past walks into the room and sits down. Josh Hamilton is Jay Harlan, also called the intruder, and Rachel's estranged father, which adds a charged, unpredictable current. Logan Miller plays Jay when he is younger. Those archetypal labels, the witness and the intruder, give it this mythic layer where people are not just people, they are ideas with shoes on. I am obsessed.
Let's dissect this for a sec.
The premise is simple on paper. An engaged couple, Rachel and Nikki, have their wedding derailed by a very bad event 1 week out. In execution, it's about how love and terror share a border. The show turns pre-wedding anxiety into surrealist horror. Newlywed jitters become a maze you binge through. That is why critics leaned in. Rotten Tomatoes lagged an approval rating in the 80s across a few dozen reviews, and Metacritic sat in the mid-60s, which is generally favorable. Translation: the vibe worked, even for jaded critics who have seen every ghost in a hallway. The consensus called it transporting, and honestly that's right. It takes familiar dread and makes it operatic.
Okay, pause. Big what if? What if the release had been delayed past 2026? Would the reception have shifted? My take, yes, timing is a character in television.
In 2026, the horror laying on streaming had room for mood pieces. People were craving atmospheric, character-forward scares, not just jump cuts. If it had slid later, fighting a wave of louder, bloodier trends, the quieter psychological current might have been labeled mid, unfairly.
Or if it hit a moment of wedding season internet mania, yes, that is a thing, it could have blown up even bigger. But the March timing let it breathe, and the miniseries format meant no holding back for renewals. They went for the throat and rapped, "Yes, queen."
From a production angle, filming in Toronto is a no-brainer. It's versatile, it stretches a budget, and it has that clean to creepy switch that horror loves. Also, the language is English, which sounds obvious, but it matters for reach, for memes, and for quotes your group chat will butcher. And the title change from "something bad is gonna happen" into "this is marketing but also tone setting" is marketing but also tone setting. The word very makes your stomach drop a floor before you even hit play. Now for something different, the social stakes. Weddings are image machines, families perform perfection, a curated feed in real time. This series rips the veil, pun absolutely intended. It says the scariest thing is not a monster, it's the truth showing up uninvited. Parents who are not who you thought they were, lovers who are charming until they are cornered, children who see what grown-ups pretend not to. That is why The Witness and The Intruder hit hard. They are not just characters, they are the roles we all play when we see something and when we do something. Do I wish it had an even bigger pop culture footprint? Totally. No viral dance, no catchphrase that ruined brunch for a month. But maybe that's the point. It's a complete miniseries, debut to finale in the same year. It peaks, it haunts, and it bows out. If they ever expand it, my vote is an anthology, and how else is not a mystery. Or a feature film that follows one of those archetypes like The Witness through a new nightmare. Give me that surrealist wedding universe. I am ready to RSVP again.
Okay, so what else you asked? Next time I'm poking at another horror phenomenon that plays with relationships and reality. Think commitment, think curses, think couples therapy but with shadows. We have to talk about it.
All right, that's the tea, folks. Keep the lights on, keep your secrets shorter than your guest list, and I will see you for more scandal, vibes, and very bad decisions made for our entertainment later.